Malaysia's King is about to get involved with growing dissatisfaction with the way the government has handled the COVID-19 pandemic. The King is set to meet political leaders starting tomorrow. The unhappiness centres on the emergency proclamation that has kept Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin in power. Despite an emergency proclamation in January, the situation hasn't improved. As Malaysia Go reports, Parliament has been suspended since January, but a conditional reopening may be on the way.
Well, all eyes are on the National Palace, where a string of meetings with heads of political parties was said to have been lined up for this week from Wednesday onwards. A palace source said the King, Al-Sultan Abdullah Ri'ayatuddin, will begin the meetings after his regular weekly pre-cabinet audience with Prime Minister Muhyiddin Yassin. The planned meetings follow a series of appeals from MPs, students and rights activists urging the King to lift the emergency proclamation, which they claim did very little to contain the pandemic, but rather to preserve the political powers of Prime Minister Muhyiddin's government. Opposition leader Anwar Ibrahim, speaking on Saturday after his party's annual virtual congress was ordered to be postponed, lashed out at the government for failing to tackle the pandemic. As a result, the people and the economy, he said, suffer.
Rakyat harus bangkit sekarang. Ya. Tak boleh lagi kita tunggu dalam keadaan sekarang. Ya. Bila kerajaan gagal menjalankan pentadbiran dan pengurusannya dengan teratur, maka rakyat wajib bangkit untuk menuntut perubahan.
Mr. Muhyiddin, who rose to power after the previous Pakatan Harapan government collapsed in March last year, sought emergency powers in January. The parliament was then suspended because he said he needed the political stability to better fight the coronavirus. But unfortunately, 80% of more than 3,400 deaths and over 600,000 confirmed cases in the country were recorded since January this year. Still, Home Minister Hamzah Zainuddin insists that the suspension of the parliament is necessary because of public health concerns.
1,000 duduk kat situ, 5 daripada pagi sampai pukul 5 atau sampai pukul 6. Bukankah ini menjadi hotspot? Kalau ini telah pun kita kawal sekarang ni, jadi tak adalah kluster itu.
The emergency proclamation expires on August 1st and Mr. Muhyiddin's cabinet is said to be split whether it ought to be extended given the prevailing crisis. Now, Malaysians are tired of all the political wrangling. They hope that politicians can put the country first and find a way to work together.
What we see now is a failure to manage political differences among the political allies of the current administration that is now spilling over as a failure to manage the economy and failure to protect the lives and livelihood of the Malaysian people.
While the palace seeks the views of political leaders, works are said to be underway for a hybrid parliament to be reconvened during the pandemic. Malaysia Go, CNA, Kuala Lumpur.